Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Randomness. My name is Sam. For those of you who may remember, last year I submitted a story to this channel's Halloween special. It was about the night that my friends and I had a close call at the Losa del Mustang. I have returned this year to share another chilling encounter. Ironically, this would also unfold on Halloween of last year, shortly after I submitted the previous story. This once again takes place in Puerto Rico in the towns of San Sebastian and LZ. At the time, my girlfriend, now wife, and I were your typical couple, inseparable and adventurous. We enjoyed casual dating, exploring the unknown, partying, and indulging in every horror film we could find during October. We'll call her Arya for the sake of the story. We had been together for about 5 years at this point. Arya is an actual witch, not the cliché dark magic type with a pointed hat and sinister laugh, but a witch who practices her craft to bring good fortune to herself and to those she loves. She is also well versed in natural healing remedies, a very sweet and nurturing woman, the friendliest witch you could ever meet. Over the years, she taught me about her culture, including the intricacies of witchcraft, though she also has this uncanny sensitivity to negative energy. I often joke with her that she's a medium in training, but that's a tale for another time. Halloween is our favorite holiday. We consider ourselves to be true enthusiasts. Every year, we dive into the festivities, attending parties and binge-watching all the classics. Last year, however, we opted for a mini getaway, booking an Airbnb for a couple of days near San Sebastian. Considering that Halloween was on a Tuesday, there wasn't that much to do. On Halloween, Arya and I planned to enjoy the day and go explore the area together. As night fell, we headed back to our Airbnb to shower and get ready for dinner. During the drive, we engaged in trivia and were ironically listening to Uncle Unit videos and other spooky channels. We passed a waterfall known as Salto di Queso, a landmark known for its beauty. As we were crossing the bridge, I noticed 3 cars parked nearby, including a 1990s blue Chevy Lumina. I recognized it because my grandfather had driven the same exact model. We parked near the other cars, and I stepped out to relieve myself while Arya stretched. Just as I finished, I caught sight of a group of 5 figures near the waterfall. They were holding hands around what I assumed was a bonfire, their voices blending into a haunting melody of humming. 3 women, seemingly in their 30s, stood with an older man, perhaps in his 40s, and a young boy who looked no older than 18. Arya's expression shifted, her face turned pale. I could tell that she was frightened. The air grew thick and oppressive, almost vibrating from the tension. As if sensing us, one of the women locked eyes with me, her expression twisted into something sinister, and the others soon followed suit, their gazes burning into us. It was as if the world had suddenly gone silent. The leader raised his arm, beckoning us to come over. The next thing I knew, Arya slapped me, her voice slicing through the air, "Get in the damn car. We are leaving." I snapped out of my trance and rushed back into the car. Before we drove off, I risked one last glance. They all had a look of pure, unadulterated rage. Then we heard a very disturbing shrieking sound as we sped away, something sounded very angry. On the drive back to the Airbnb, we pieced together what had just occurred, both agreeing that we may have stumbled upon a black magic ritual. After settling in, we decided to grab a bite to eat in LZ. After dinner, we returned to the plaza, attempting to shake off the dreadful feeling from earlier. But it wasn't long before we spotted the same blue Lumina circling the plaza like a shark stalking its prey. A wave of fear washed over me, they had followed us here. As the car continued circling us, both Arya and I grew increasingly uneasy. Frustrated, I decided to approach it, feeling emboldened by the crowd of locals that were present. But just as I was about to reach it, it sped off. We headed back to the Airbnb, and the parking space for this house was across the street. So when we got there, we parked the car. As I was about to cross the street, Arya pulled me back as the blue Lumina came rushing past, barely missing me. My heart pounded in my chest. If it wasn't for Arya, I would have been seriously injured. After shouting some curse words, we climbed back into my car. Arya burned sage, trying to ward off the lingering negative presence. Once that was completed, we finally returned to the Airbnb safely, and we ended up watching Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Fortunately, nothing happened for the rest of that night, but I wasn't able to get any sleep. I stayed awake, expecting the worst. The next morning, on our way back home, we drove past that waterfall again. Curiosity gnawed at me, and I stopped the car to investigate the area. As I stumbled upon the remnants of their ritual, dread overcame me. It was a sight that sent chills down my spine. A dead chicken lay next to the fire, and a bit further away, there was the lifeless body of a black cat. Near a creek, there was another dead chicken. After seeing this, we immediately left and never returned. On the way back home, Arya explained the dangers of adopting cats in October, especially black cats, as many are taken for the purposes of ritualistic sacrifice. Looking back, that group of people was likely trying to summon a powerful presence, and we may have interrupted them, which is why they pursued us. To all of you listening, if you encounter a group of people in the woods or a remote area, it's best to steer clear. Most of the time, they'll probably leave you alone, but there's always a chance they'll try and drag you into a living nightmare. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate everyone for listening to my story. I wish all of you a very happy and safe Halloween.